of listenership that the program continued to garner. Like I did the last time I was on the platform, those who are keeping the flames burning, deserve all the commendation that you can get. Now, yes, yesterday Parliament was interesting. I'll start on that note because I was there, and it had to do with the report of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee regarding the CI that EC laid before Parliament. There was controversy over whether the report is ready to be laid or not. And the controversy arose because it is one of the few committees in Parliament that is chaired by the minority. So the committee chair, Dr. Ayini, did a report after a meeting with stakeholders, EC and others, for the review and approval of other committee members. And then he presented his report as courtesy demands. It's not part of our protocols, but our standing orders, but as courtesy demands, he shared a copy of the report with his ranking, who happens to be Honorable Boabina Samoa. And Honorable Boabina Samoa, as ranking, decided to go against our standing orders and vary the report entirely. And like Honorable Dominic Ayini said on the floor of Parliament yesterday, made substantial changes that watered down and took the effect of whatever the report was supposed to convey out, and sought to present what he varied as the report of the committee, which is alien to the practices in Parliament. Because according to our standing orders, it is the committee chair who generates the report and then submits same before committee members for their inputs before it is then submitted on behalf of the committee to the plenary for consideration. In this case, the ranking member, after altering what was, given him by the chairman, sought to present the altered report. And that is why perhaps the news reports are suggesting that, what was the word used? That he changed the...
doctored.
He doctored the report. That's why it is suggested that he doctored the report. So the speaker had to call for the chairman to give his side of the story after some objections from our side. And I think that based on the evidence that was adduced by the chairman of the committee, the speaker saw it necessary to adjourn the House and ask the committee to go back and look at the report and come back with a report that is acceptable to all, and that will also capture everything. So that's all about what happened in relation to the CI. It would have been taken yesterday, and given the stance of both political parties, it is possible it would have been passed because it only needs the majority to pass it anyway. But because of this, technical challenge, it has been adjourned, and perhaps on Tuesday, if the report is ready, we'll consider it. Now, on the pilot that the EC did, should I say I'm surprised that the EC thinks it was successful? I'll be dishonest if I say so, because clearly the EC and its new leadership exudes nothing but shameless dishonesty in their approach to the conduct of the 2020 general elections. Look, first of all, after the referendum and after the district assembly elections, they came out to tell us how credible the whole exercise was. And within a twinkle of an eye, they are going back on their words and seeking to convince all of us how bad a system we have as far as the electoral roll and the system that is available to use it for the 2020 general elections is concerned, without recourse to their earlier, praises heaped on that system that was used for the referendum and the district assembly elections. Apart from that, you also know what happened in Ayawaso Wagon. What was the verdict of the EC? Successful and peaceful. Even the EC did not feel, frightened, or if you like, intimidated to go against the position of Kodio, which is, in my view, in our current circumstance, more credible than the leadership of the EC. I'm not talking about the EC, but the leadership of the EC. So Kodio gave a report about what happened in Ayawaso Wagon, apart from what we all witnessed and saw. Yet the EC said it was successful and peaceful. So if after all the reports that we have heard from all the regions where BVR machines showed they already had some existing names on them when they were supposed to be new, where in some cases, we are told a picture of a woman was the one on the, card after a man went through the process. Where we are told that it took 30 to 50 minutes for one person to successfully register. And given the numbers that we expect to register, by my, calculation, you are talking about 50 hours to register 100 people a day. 50 hours to register 100 people a day. That is if you choose the less, minutes. That's 30. If you choose 30, you are talking about 50 hours to register 100 people. Because the EC, I'm told, is expecting that every station will register 100 people a day. So if you are using 30 minutes, you are talking about 50 hours to register 100 people. So even in a day, you can't get that. So despite all these things that we have heard from the various regions, and the very poor quality of cards that we have seen, the Electoral Commission is shamelessly telling us that it was successful, even though one region had to even suspend the whole exercise. The others, with all the problems, endured. And the least the EC can do is to be honest about the challenges, because that is the use of a pilot program. A pilot program is not supposed to be perfect. So what is the need to lie about the problems that you encounter in the pilot program and declare it and seek to declare it successful, when clearly it's not been successful? The fact that a pilot is not entirely successful does not mean you cannot implement your project. It only means that you need to put in place measures that will mitigate against the challenges that you have seen. So admitting that the pilot was a flop is not, the same as saying because of that you can't go ahead. But it shows that you are honest, and it shows that you can be trusted. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem like an electoral commission that cares about being trusted. It just cares about